What kind of a leader are you? Do you want to be a better leader? Do your style and behavior map to the needs of your team and your project? Leadership can be scary. Will your team follow you? Will they respect you? Will you make good decisions? These are all legit concerns. So let's dive into this and find out, what are the leadership behaviors we need to model, and how can we adapt different styles of leadership? I'm going to take you through all of this and what you can do to make a plan to make it better. Coming up next on ProjectSkillsMentor.com. Well, hi, I'm Liz, the Project Skills Mentor, and today we're talking about leadership styles. Now, before I've talked about leadership skills, and they're different. I'll link that up here so you can see what leadership skills are all about. Styles are more subtle, and styles can be fit for purpose based on the situation. So let's explore that first by looking at leadership behaviors. These are common across all leadership styles, and essentially leadership behavior is meant to model a leader's ability to deal with chaos, being in the eye of the storm. You, as a leader, are the port in the storm. Your team doesn't want to walk into your office on Monday and find Jekyll and Tuesday find Hyde. They need to know what kind of a leader you're going to be, and they need to know they can depend on you. You need to shelter them from the noise of the world to help them focus on the result you're all trying to achieve together. Let's talk about behaviors. I've got a chart here to show you, and it essentially has two what looks to be opposites, but in fact what you're looking for is the balance. So the first of these, confidence versus humble. Every leader needs to be confident, but humbleness helps you understand others. Confidence helps you lead. Humility gives you the right to lead. Do you want to be the team star or a team player? But the goal of a leader is to maximize their team's potential, and you can't do that as the star. Directive versus coach. There are times when you have to be directive as a leader. Coaching does more than solve the problem of today. It builds the team for tomorrow. But judge yourself. Are you maybe too directive? Maybe you're even too much of a coach. Find the balance. Answer-focused versus question-focused. Now, a good leader might think right away, well, I should be answer-focused, right? Not necessarily. If someone starts to ask a question and you already blurt out the answer before they've finished, you might not have assessed the background, the context, and really understood the options. In fact, the person bringing you the question might be the best one to answer it. And that goes to the last point, speaker versus listener. Of course, leaders should be great speakers. You want to share your vision, but if you're not a great listener too, you might overlook a great idea from your team. Or you might not be listening in to see that there's actually a problem brewing and you're blind to it. So these leadership behaviors, how do you get them in balance? Well, assess yourself, figure out where you are today and where you want to be. And once you know that, you can make a plan for action. What do you want to stop? What do you want to start doing? How do you want to improve? So now, let's go through these 7 leadership styles. They're ones I've experienced and I've experienced in other leaders over the years, so I think they're important to understand. First of all, I call this the COP, directive style. And it's generally hierarchical and transactional. In other words, it's just getting a job done. This is great if you're a short order cook. It may not be so great if you're trying to be a leader in a business situation. The next one is coach, and this is one that I naturally resonate with. It's really helpful to understand that you're trying to create maximum potential in your team members, so helping them grow is a great aspiration, and coaching helps. But coaching has a downside. Don't get stuck in growing your team when you're not actually engaged with results. You need to do both in balance. Change agent. This is the transformational, collaborative, communicative role. A great role. This is where teams start to get into the flow, where every person has a voice, everyone can give inputs, multi-dimensional teams are working together, and that is great. The only thing is, it's got some downsides, and that could include getting form over function discussions with a designer versus a technical person that start talking about something. So you just want to keep the conversation moving, but transformational is a great kind of leadership style. Visionary. This is a person who can share their vision with the team and really sell them on it. With engagement at the emotional level and also at the goal-based level, teams can be inspired and motivated to innovate. And this is a great place to be, as long as analysis paralysis doesn't set in. Role model, a style that's near and dear to my heart and I've used a lot. This is leadership through action, showing the team instead of telling them. The great thing is, this can inspire the team to get down there and row with you. But the downside is you got to look behind you and make sure the team's following you every now and again, because they may not be adapting your behavior. They may let you just row the boat by yourself. Influencer. And this for me is kind of a new style I'm seeing pop up. Sometimes it's someone who isn't actually in the role of a leader, but is acting as a leader because they are insightful and sharing those insights, and people will be attracted to that. So sometimes when your team isn't attracted to other ways of working, try influencer, and also build that skill set in someone you see in your team that can become a leader, because influencer is one of the first ways to start that leadership journey. Charismatic. We all know someone who is persuasive and charming, but there's more to it than that. This charismatic style I actually put down to also a swan on the water, paddling furiously underwater, but graceful on top. Their positivity generates a lot of outward momentum to the team and to others. And something else, I like charismatic because oftentimes when there's chaos all around you, the charismatic is focused on the goal, positive about their purpose, and charming everyone to make it happen. And that ability to get rid of the noise is extremely powerful. So in this assessment, and I've got it up here, you're going to look at that leadership style. You're going to think about what it's good for, what situation it can be helpful in, and also what to watch for, the little pitfalls that can happen. And you're going to rate yourself on good, okay, or you want to start doing it. And you may not want to be good at all of them, and you may not want to start doing all of them, but at least be aware. And then once you have that awareness, make a plan. Make a plan to develop yourself first, because once you develop yourself, you're ready to develop the rest of your team. Think about what behaviors you want to reduce and which ones you want to increase, so you can find that balance in your behavior. Think about which leadership styles you want to embrace and do more of. Make it a challenge for yourself. Do it every day on the job. Think about, have I done this today? Could I use this kind of style in this situation? You're not trying to be Jekyll and Hyde to your team or constantly changing your model. These are subtle approaches, so use them subtly. You'll know success when you see it. Write that down. Write it down so every month or week or day you can look at it and say, have I gotten any closer to my goal? How am I doing? Am I ready to go on to the next behavior or the next style I want to work on? Check in with yourself to be real and to self-assess again and again, and with your team. My teams, I always let them know when I was doing an experiment on myself like this so that they understood what was happening in the background and they could help. They could say, yeah, that's not working. Or that was a great one. Keep some of that. And that's great because your team that's engaged with your self-improvements is going to see that they can also self-improve. They might even ask for your model, in which case, go ahead and send them my guide. I hope you found this helpful. Give it a like if you did. Consider subscribing. I do at least one video a week, and I also post once on my blog every week. Take care. I'll see you next time on ProjectSkillsMentor.com. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.